welcome back to Life on Two Wheels. So, as you're painfully aware, I haven't posted since July, and there are two reasons for that. Number one, my practice got super busy, and that's one reason. That happened in July, or began to happen in July. And the other thing was that making videos is really complicated. And I had gotten put together a kind of a GoPro rig that I thought was going to be a huge time saver, and it turned out to be well, you'll see shortly. So I had a business trip in July to Montreal, and I thought, brand new Vespa, take the Vespa. What better way to get to Montreal? And while you're there, let's do a video on smoked meat and bagels, two of Montreal's most iconic foods. You can go anywhere in Canada and quite a number of places in the US and find out that Montreal is famous for smoked meat and bagels. And let's take a look.
This is Deli B. A lot of these restaurants have a connection. This restaurant's connected to a restaurant downtown. This is where you get incredibly good Montreal smoked meat. The stuff that made the city famous. There are very few places to actually get that. Deli B is one of them. Here we are in the heart of downtown Montreal. This is definitely tourist accessible. This is Dominion Square, and there it is. And we'll just take a quick peek inside. This is the largest of the smoked meat restaurants. Smoked meat is unbelievable, and they justly refer to themselves as Dunn's famous for smoked meat, that is. Calling this a fustercluck. It's worse than a fustercluck. It's a clusterffffail. I rode 1,000 kilometers on my bike at the beginning of July. 1,000 kilometers. And where did I go? I went to Montreal. And I thought, I've got this great idea for this episode on the iconic foods of Montreal, the foods that Montreal is known for worldwide, that people crave, that ex-Montrealers like me will drive 1,000 kilometers to enjoy. And I got some amazing footage, some fantastic footage. And I came back to Toronto. All I've got on the audio track, the microphone failed. You're going back to Montreal in August, buy another dongle, and redo. These dongles are like as rare as dragon scales. I put an order in with a music store in Montreal because I thought they were in stock there, and it turned out they weren't in stock. But I called them and they said, oh, not to worry, we had some 3 weeks ago. We're expecting another shipment, you'll get it soon. All right, so it came finally came like 3 or 4 days ago. I thought, fantastic, I'm going back just in time. Going back to Montreal, this time not on my bike, in the car, another 500 kilometers, and I'm gonna reshoot those shots. So I go into one of these iconic restaurants, arguably the single best place in the entire world for smoked meat, and it's called Smoked Meat Pete's on Ile Perrot, and Pete is there. Pete is there, and I do a little interview with Pete, and Pete was brilliant, you know, and he referred to his father and how his father had worked all of his life at the main deli that he owned on St. Lawrence Boulevard, and in the hopes of winning that prize away from Schwartz's and to become the best smoked meat. And Pete said he did it a couple of years ago, and there was another survey, and Smoked Meat Pete's came out on top. Wow, a phenomenal footage, right? So I'm going back and doing some of the other iconic stuff, the bagels, and I come out of Fairmount Bagel, and I'm sitting in the car with Susan, and I wanted to show her, look, I got this great footage, and what do I find? You cannot imagine how upset I was. 1,500 painful kilometers, and I've got nothing. Oh boy, I mean, I have not been that angry and that frustrated in a long, long time. So I recover. We drive to beautiful Quebec City. I mean, look at this. I mean, Quebec City is absolutely amazing.
So what do you suppose happened to the end of that rant?
You're $160 on dongles, you know, or more than that. Who cares? You know, you get it fixed. And
so that left me with without a vlogging setup, and I was no longer happy just vlogging with the iPod. And my GoPro that I'd become a little bit accustomed to, because I thought, wow, what a fantastic rig this is. I mean, it's just amazing. It makes vlogging so much easier. Has completely failed because of the audio, and I wasn't quite sure now what the problem was. I didn't know what to think. Fortunately, the rest of our summer and into the fall, we had amazing, crazy adventures, you know. The reason I was in Quebec City because I was teaching at a conference. But in addition to that, it turned out that I received kind of a Lifetime Achievement Award, and which was absolutely amazing. We went to Alaska, had a great time cruising in Alaska. Susan and I had never been on a cruise before. I wasn't too thrilled about it at the beginning. I thought it was a little bit too floating Las Vegas, but Alaska itself was absolutely stunning. We had a great time. It was relaxing. We got to see our kids in Vancouver. I mean, I can't say enough good things about that. And then later in the fall, we went to Spain and had a great time. We stayed in Marbella on the Costa del Sol, drove along the highway on the Costa del Sol, which was a lot of fun. We went to, where did we go? We went to Cordoba, and we went to Madrid, and we went to Granada. And Granada is where I got the part of the soundtrack for this video, as a matter of fact. This guy is a busker in Granada. He was just absolutely amazing. So great things happened, and there were other great things too. I still have footage, and I will put that footage up. And now I think I've solved the GoPro problem finally, 3 days before the warranty expired, which I was very deeply appreciative to GoPro for. Turns out the fault was the camera, but I think, anyway, I'm going to do a video about how to, in my opinion, set up a GoPro vlogging rig in a way that actually works, and there'll be a video about that. At the end of this video, I'm going to throw in my acceptance speech for winning that award, and the reason I'm throwing that in is because I had some inspirational words that certainly matter to me, and you know, they're inspirational words I like to share with you. So you'll get to see that as well. As a matter of fact, you get to see that now. At a front table, just right over there, just slightly to the left. Hi, Lynn. Hey, we gotta get the handshake.
How's it going?
It's going great.
This year's recipient is David Mass. He continues to be involved with GPC, or is running around to a local session, and continues to give support to myself and to the organization. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming and congratulating David Mass.
It's so to have a captive audience like this, I can go on for hours and hours. But instead, I'm going to be mercifully short. And when you look around you and you see what GPC pulls off year over year, it's just beyond belief. And you can only do that with a very, very competent team. And they're just a great bunch of people. So I'd like you to join me in applauding GPC. Now I have a quiz. Does anyone here know or have heard of Casey Neistat? That's like no one. You guys are not wasting enough time with me. You'll find out why later. On Monday, Second City encouraged us to take risks and step out of our comfort zone. The only reason I'm standing here before you, having received this award, is because I literally had to give myself a kick in the butt, time after time after time, to get out of my comfort zone. 9 years ago, after a trip to Paris, I decided that I could be like a Parisian and commute to work downtown Montreal on a motor scooter. And that led to all of the remainder of my career was commuting on a motorcycle downtown Montreal. And I'm still alive. That led oddly to blogging. I've been a blogger since 2010, having nothing to do with governance or law. They pushed me very, very hard to get into vlogging of all things. I'll say a little bit since nobody knows who Casey Neistat is. Casey Neistat is a vlogger, and he was one of the first daily vloggers. All he wanted to do was be a movie producer. Casey started a vlog on YouTube. That guy, for the last 3-4 years, was making over $1 million a year from his vlog. He is unbelievable, an inspiration. And whenever he wants to inspire himself, he gets a new tattoo. And one of his first tattoos that he wears very, very prominently on his arm is "Do what you can't." So that's my advice to everybody here. Do what you can. Thank you.
That'll be the end of this video, and hopefully this is the end of my hiatus, the interruption, the end of the vlog. The vlog begins again, except now I'm even set up in a much, much better way. My GoPro vlogging rig, I think, is back up to snuff, and I've got this studio set up that is I'm really thrilled about it because I can do things like roll away from the mic, from the camera, and I could even get up and leave, and I can come back. I can focus on you, my audience. I do all types of things, and as you can see, well, anyway, I'm really happy with this, and that'll be another video too. So thank you very much for sticking around for the to the end of this long video, and I'm not going to keep you kind of out in the cold this long again, you know, unless I get struck by lightning. So that's it. Don't forget to click to like this video, click to subscribe, and don't forget to visit the blog where you'll find the touring guide, the gear guide, and so much more. See you next time on Life on Two Wheels.